Auctioneers are regulated through the State of Ohio Department of Agriculture. We're all licensed through the state, have to pass an exam, and complete continuing education every year. So as far as becoming an auctioneer, basically it's a schooling that you go to, which is only 9 days to 2 weeks typically. From there, you come back to whatever state you're interested in, and there's a licensing protocol that is in place. So you might have to go through a little bit of online schooling or continuing education, take your test at whatever state does require that in order to get your licensing. And so the process itself doesn't take too long. But after that, I always recommend at any auctioneer that's wanting to get into the field that they need to get involved with somebody local. They need to get involved with somebody that's going to help them teach the ins and outs of the auction industry. So an auctioneer's chant, everybody says, oh, you're one of those fast talkers. Well, yes, most auctioneers talk fairly fast, but when you break it down, it's really not as fast as what you think it is. So an auctioneer's chant consists of just a few things. One is the most important part, which is the numbers. And typically you're going to hear two sets of numbers coming from an auctioneer. The one is the lower amount, which is the amount that they already have bid or actually have bid at that point. And the next amount that you will hear is the amount that they're asking for or desire to be the next bid. So I have 25, who get 50? You know, those are the two numbers that you hear, the number that you have and the number that you are asking for. The other thing you hear in the chant that a lot of people, associate with the fast talking is the filler words. Those are the words that are in between those numbers, and typically an auctioneer rolls those fairly quick off their tongue, and those are used for rhythm. That's what's used to engage the audience, to keep you moving, to make you want to bid. And so those are the biggest components with an auction chant. Now, the biggest way for auctioneers to hone that chant or make it as good as possible is one, practice. I mean, it takes a lot of practice, just like everything else. If you're a professional sports player, you're spending hours upon hours a day practicing, whatever sport you're in. Auctioneers spend a lot of time practicing because at the end of the day, when it comes time for the actual sale day, they need to be as effective as possible for those sellers. So they need to spend time practicing both those filler words and their numbers as well. So auctioneers talk fast. One, it creates a sense of urgency. You want to make the buyers, obviously compete as much as possible, and with that sense of urgency, the buyers will compete just a little bit faster. And it also gives you that expedited sale, to where it's, hey, I've got a bid, or I'm going to miss this particular item. So that's all part of it. The other part is it's part of the rhythm with the auction chant, and it keeps things interesting. It keeps buyers engaged, and so that's some of the main reasons that an auctioneer does talk fast. Through the state of Ohio's licensing, an auctioneer can bid on items at that particular auction. Typically, if that is the case, it usually is disclosed to the buyers that, hey, there might be a team member, or there might be somebody that is a part of the auction crew that is interested in that item. So a lot of times, as long as they disclose that, the auctioneer can bid. So an auctioneer can sell their own property at an auction. Same deal, that you have to disclose that it is owned by a licensed auctioneer. That particular item is, or that particular piece of real estate is owned by that auctioneer, and as long as it's disclosed, you can sell an item that you do own.